Hey, what's going on guys? Hayes here for another Zenless video, and in today's video we have another brand new endgame mode called Deadly Assault that has just been introduced into Zenless. Yeah, I know, another one. They've been on a roll patch after patch and haven't missed yet. But what the heck is Deadly Assault? Before we go over it, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you find it helpful. Let's get into it. Deadly Assault, or DA is what I like to call it, is a new endgame mode with 3 insane bosses for players to fight every rotation, and the goal is to try and get as many points as possible within the time limit given. These bosses have insane amounts of HP, so you're not expected to kill them, just do as much damage as you can within the 3 minutes that they give you. Sounds simple enough, right? But there's a catch. After you use the character once, you can't use that character again, since after using a character in a boss battle, they become locked and unavailable for you to use in the next one, thus forcing you to use different characters on each of the bosses. Now this might be a cakewalk for those that have been playing since the beginning and have a decent amount of characters, but for those who have just recently started playing in the later patches, this may be a bit troublesome, considering that you have to have 9 decently built characters in order to succeed in this mode. But I have some simple tips that I think will help you do better in this mode, starting off with tip number 1, share your gear. While you can't use the same character more than once, you can share their gear and weapons with other characters that you have yet to use, making things a bit easier on you so you don't technically have to farm for 3 whole teams. If some of them use the same set or weapons, for example, Bernice and Yanagi use the same set, so if you use Bernice on one boss and Yanagi in the other, you can swap their drive this with each other, especially if one has better stats than the other, allowing both units to perform as good as possible in their respective fights. This tip is very helpful for those who don't have everyone built yet and still want to try out the new mode. Tip number 2, don't put all your eggs in a basket. What I mean by this is, you need 9 characters, 3 for each of your 3 teams, and what I'm about to say doesn't really apply to those that have every single character in the game, since those people can do whatever the heck they want, but for those that have an average amount, I would advise you to split them up, especially if you're going for 9 stars. Like, if you're someone who has Yanagi and Miyabi, while their duo is the best in the game, they're both still insane on their own, so you might want to separate them and use them on different bosses with other characters, like maybe a Yanagi and Bernice team for one boss and a Miyabi hyper carry team on the other boss. Sometimes splitting up your characters can be the best way to help you achieve better results across the board than just getting a bunch of points on one floor and barely any on the others. If your goal is 9 stars, then you're going to need all 3 teams to be around the same level and achieve high scores. Tip number 3, pay attention to the details. What I mean by this is, if you read the enemy details, they show ways of accumulating more points than just doing damage. Like for example, for every dance partner that you destroy in the marionette fight, and the dance partners are the kind of clones that it makes of itself during the fight, you gain 200 points for a maximum of 5,000 points for each one that you kill. These 5,000 points are available in every boss fight if you complete certain tasks while in them, and these points can help you achieve a higher score than you received before, so make sure you pay attention to what you have to do during the boss fight and pick a team that will help you in doing so. Which also brings me to tip 4, since they're both about reading. Please choose the right buffs for your team, as they can be very beneficial in how fast you do damage, contributing a lot to your point gain. Like, if you're using Zhiyuan, don't go and pick the anomaly buff, choose what works for your team. This may seem obvious to some people, but it may not be that obvious to others. So make sure, once again, pick what works for you, read the buff before you select it, then try it out. And now for the 5th and final tip, you don't need 9 stars. I know this is a whole video about tips on how to get 9 stars, but let me explain. You can get 3 stars per battle for a total of 9 stars every Deadly Assault rotation. 6,000 for the first star, 14,000 for the second star, and 20,000 for the third star. But you don't actually need to get the third star on any of your runs, at least if you don't want to. If you're like me and only care about the money, you only need a 2-star clear on all floors, or a 3-star clear on 2 floors in order to get a total of 6 stars. And that will give you all the polychrome awards for Deadly Assault. Speaking of which, it's only 300 every rotation, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Just keep in mind, anything above 6 stars won't give you any polys, so if you're struggling to get full stars on your battles, don't worry about it too much, as it doesn't really matter and it's not worth it in the end. So those are my 5 tips on helping you succeed in the newest endgame mode, Deadly Assault, and for a quick recap, a 2-star clear is fine if you just care about the polychromes. Don't put all your most powerful characters onto one team and try to spread them out. Share your gear and weapons around if you need to, do the task for your extra performance points, and pick the right buffs. Comment down below how many stars you currently have in Deadly Assault, and I hope this video provided you with some type of help. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. This was Hayes. Peace.